It's your commish, leader of the Swagsters. Here with two, I would say, notable teams in the league. We got Neil Aller, who gave up a little bit of his run. We got Tony Swift Frederick. Welcome on, guys.
Thanks, Commish. Good to be here.
Hello, everybody.
We're starting out with what I think is one of the biggest stories here. We have a guy who is just a scumbag. He is picking up tight ends, all of them, so that his opponent can't pick up anybody. He's denying the league punishment, says he'll leave the league because he is not going to do our league punishment. A team that holds himself to a high standard, higher than most, is sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard. Guys, what is your thoughts on Spike's redemption season so far?
You want to take this first, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, how high of a standard can you hold yourself to when you've never been on the top? You're easily a catcher, not a pitcher. So take that what you will, Trev. You're always taking it in the ass out here. Rightfully so. But you got to know, you got to be smarter than the tools you're using. Yahoo is just a fine machine, and you can't beat the system. I don't know what the thoughts were, guys.
Yeah, what was your thoughts on that move? When you saw it, what were you thinking?
Well, originally, I didn't even see the original pickup. I looked at the phone, saw, hey guys, I apologize for the notifications. Thought it was just Trev, pulling Trev, and then all of a sudden I look and there's 8 notifications for tight ends that have been picked up. And it's a savvy move. I'll give it to him, but in all reality, I didn't even need a tight end to beat him this last week. So, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I respect the move, but also, you see what happens when you try to make moves like that in this league.
Tony, the last place team right now is looking like it's a race between Spike's redemption, guacamole penises, and maybe the bye weeks. We're kind of sneaky right now. Who is your pick to go in last place?
Well, the bye weeks are hot right now, I will say. Got that win over that last place seed. But man, Trevor's team's not looking too hot, drafting the shitty end of the NFC North and Dijon Robinson, who is not a very good mustard. Guy's pretty shitty, apparently. Arthur Smith loves Tyler Algier, the league winner.
True.
So I don't know. It's tough, but Connor's made some bonehead moves. I don't think he'll be able to recover handing away Tyler Lockett like that for cancerous Michael Thomas. It's not a great move. Guy. Foreman on the way out. I think I fleeced him, and I think it's going to put a nail in his season.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to come on here and just absolutely bash Connie, interdivision, I basically own him. I don't know. But then I took a look at Trevor's team, and I don't think there's any coming back from it, man. I think he made too many reaches in the draft, and I think it's really starting to bite him in the ass right now. David Montgomery coming back for the Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs isn't going for 30 points every week. Maybe Justin Fields coming back sparks something in the team, but I just don't see it, man. I think those Blazing Wings are gonna end him, not only just in the league, but I think we might be attending a funeral later on this year.
Both literally and figuratively.
Exactly.
Another story in this season has been the jinxes. Seems like everybody's had a jinx either happen to them or they're giving them out. Tony, what are your thoughts on the jinxes so far?
Well, I don't think these guys are as good at jinxing as they like to be. Joey's out here throwing every jinx he's ever made. Not seeming to pan out for him very well right now as he's tanking along with a couple of our other league mates. No names will be thrown out here yet. But the biggest jinx of them all, it's Rue.
Really?
You can't go 4 out of your last 5, call yourself mid without being a jinxster. He is the ringleader behind the curtain of all the jinxes, dude.
I mean, we've seen some jinxes this week. Parker gave me one individually. He claims it was unintentional, but I haven't put him on blast yet till now. Bryce gave a nice little jinx against Spencer. Joey's obviously just something else.
I don't want to talk about him.
Neil, when you're looking at the Joey Award this year, does jinxing have a factor into that award for you?
Oh, absolutely. I pray that the jinxing has some consequences there. For me, it would just only be fitting for all the jinxing that Joey's done this year if he wins the award once again, especially with the hot start that he's had. Having arguably one of the best players in fantasy with Travis Etienne on the team. I mean, I would love to see it go to Joey. I really would. But, there's just so many teams that are on the edge. Up until these last 2 weeks, I mean, the whole league was within two wins or losses of each other. We've had a couple, the Swagsters have distanced themselves from the rest of the field. Bryce's team is strong, and I hate to admit it, but Spencer's team he's 5-4, but they're studded over there. He's got some studs, but the rest of the league, I think just about anybody can take home the Joey Award this year.
There is some room to be had on the Joey Award, that is for sure. We've talked a little bit about the top, talked a lot about the bottom. Where are we sitting with the mid? Who's mid right now? Who is sitting dead center in 6th place in your guys' mind? Neil, why don't you go first?
No, it's me, 100%. There's no doubt about it. I go from scoring, I think I scored the league high last week, 160, and then I go to scoring 100 points with the team that I have. My wide receivers are either absolutely horrible or they give me 60 points like they did this last week. I think I found a quarterback in Sam Howell, but we'll see. But other than that, I mean, I think my team's extremely average, being held up by Alvin Kamara getting 13 receptions a game. Other than that, I mean, you could argue our former champion he could be pretty mid, especially if the duo of Kelsey and Mahomes did what they did last week. But I think the only other person that I would say that on a weekly basis I look at and is kind of the similar would be Chris, but he's got a lot of guys on the team. A lot of guys that can go off and do what they can. I got a lot of guys that'll get 20 points max. So I think that's the definition of mid in my opinion.
Smoking Herb OK is sitting in the dead center 6th spot. Tony, there are some rumors, some whispers around the league that Neil giving up on his shtick and quite literally letting Joey take the whole shtick from him is the reason why he's not succeeding. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, Joey's never been a splashy fantasy player, I will say. He seems to always make mediocre moves, comes around, might get you near the end, might hold you down by your teeth. But at the end of the day, Joey's always going to find a way to bite himself in the foot. And we're running down that road right now. Joey is finally caving. He is panicking, and he's gonna fall with the rest of them. Him and my 2 division partners are what I would call the most mid of our league. And I don't think there's going to be any coming back from them once I put them into the ground.
Wait, can you specify just so the rest of the league can know who you're talking about? Who's the other league member in your division?
That would be the Primo's Pussies, the guys that I believe like to milk the udder a little bit too much. They're not really there for the milk, but more for playing.
I got
Parker's a shake it more than 3 times kind of guy.
I heard he kind of likes that.
Yeah, well, everybody's got their own thing, and that's his.
Hey, we don't kink shame around here.
Pretty like the good meatball sub too from around the league.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Last question before I let you guys roll. Obviously, picking the winner is too easy. Who's going to be the Spike runner-up ring winner this year? Neil, I'll have you. You're the floor. The floor is yours.
I think I'm going to have to go with one of the jinxers this year, and it was a recent one. He's usually He's usually pretty respectful on the shit talking. I will say he's a big influencer, and that when I'm talking about Spencer. Again, I think his team's got a lot. I think he's got enough to get there. He's got McCaffrey. He's got a lot of firepower, but I think that, with the child on the way, I think that the jinxing that he just did this last, I think, couple hours, with all those texts this morning, I think it's really going to come back to somebody is actually and literally going to take the food out of his child's mouth and beat him for the title.
That was an insane comment out of Spencer. Tony, what are your thoughts on that question?
Well, I hate to say it because, I think this guy's got a really good team with some solid players on it. And I think with the eclipsing of Liam in the Achilles monster, and I think if this guy can find a way to make Alexander Madison a everyday running back, I think the Swagsters will be the next spike. With Jalen Hurts keeps winning games, I think they're not going to have to play him as much, use him as much. I think it's going to turn into a DeAndre Swift show over there, which would also hurt me and A.J. Brown. But I don't know, coming down the stretch and those guys keep winning games, they're not going to need him as much on the legs. They're not going to have to throw the ball as much down the stretch. But the schedule is tough and in favor of the Eagles players. So I would say Kyle's got a good shot as any, but I think he's going to fall short in the end here.
Yeah, I mean, similar to Fortnite OG, the Swagsters are back temporarily, not forever. But it's also similar to Fortnite. We do come to win. We do come to be the best. And I do hope that season continues this path that we're on. I will say Bryce's team is fucking good.
It's good.
And his name this year is fucking good.
I like it.
The memes are elite.
The memes are elite. Bryce has brought his A game this year.
He has.
I believe he's a 2-time champion in this league. That's 2 more, just for you counting at home, than Trevor could ever imagine. I mean, Bryce came to play this year. Hats off to him. Mid-season, I think he's got to be my MVP. Any closing remarks, you guys? Any shit you guys want to talk?
Got anything, Tony?
Anything you got on your mind, Neil? Go ahead.
I am. I'm trying to think. No, I mean, basically, I'll say this is me throwing every player on my team on the trade block. Anybody wants to throw me a trade, feel free. I already traded my first-round pick, so the rest of the team just might as well just be there. So we've talked about it in the locker room. Everybody is dispensable. They all know that. That's why, I'm hoping that we can continue to win games, because nobody knows if they'll be here tomorrow. I have made it clear that, that this isn't a permanent thing. We do like, as we're speaking here, I did get a trade offer from the Swagsters. Have to check that out. But yeah, no, other than that, I mean, Joey, fuck you and your jinxes. It is an expected thing from me every week now, is just to see the text message so that I can get temporarily angry. But other than that, I just want everybody to know that I hope you all have fun, and I hope Trevor has to eat blazing wings at the end of the year.
I love it. Tony, anything?
Could not agree more. From one champion to another. Neil, hopefully you find yourself on this great wall of champs. But I hate all of you. I hope you all lose every single game. I hope you all love those blazing wings, man, because I'm going to love watching it.
All right. Love you guys. One pride. Swagsters out.
Love you too. Love you, Commish. Thanks for having us on.
Peace, boys. Thank you, sir.